Well, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing some maintenance and we're going to be redoing my electrical system. So let's check it out. Alright, as you can see, I've pulled everything out of the tongue box. And we're now redoing everything. Let me show you what it looks like inside now that it's totally empty. I'll put a picture up of what it looked like before. So here's what we're gonna be redoing the electrical system completely. Okay, so all the components going in are gonna be the battery box, which is probably gonna go right there somewhere. Hope you can see that all right. So battery box is going to line up somewhere in this area. And then we have our fuse panel. Got it? Okay. That's going to go in here. Here is our solar charge controller. I don't know if you can see that. We'll put that right there. That's going to go here. And then this box is our breakaway batteries charger, is what that is. Charging. That's where that's going to go. So then we have, let me bring the camera around a little bit for you. So on the side of the wall, as you can see, we have, this is my main breaker switch here that goes to the battery. This is the kill switch for the solar panel. All my cables coming in. We're rewiring, so we're going to see what this looks like after we're done. So hopefully this will make more sense and all that. Okay, so first step is I've mounted the fuse panel to the ground floor here. I've mounted the charge controller, and then I will mount the battery charger for the breakaway system later. Right there is where it's going to go. So what you see is how it's going to be placed. Battery's going to stay in this position. All my cables will come in from out here, straight down. Main breaker switch, kill switch for the solar panel. So that's first step. Positive to the kill switch for the solar panel, negative to the bus bar for the battery as well. On to the next part. Okay, so this is a 50 amp circuit that goes from the 150 amp breaker on the wall here to the charge controller. That's what that is. That's the positive side of the electrical. This gets wired in, so it's a 50 amp. 30 amp, oh no, 50 amp, sorry, I don't know if you can read that or not. 50 amp breaker is what that is. Okay, so let me show you what we got so far. See if I can zoom in. Okay, so 50 amp circuit is tied into the charge controller, negative to the bus bar, positive is, this positive is to the kill switch for the solar panels, which are not hooked up yet. Positive to the battery. Other cable will be the negative one. And that's how far along I am so far. More to come. Okay, here we go. So, the way to know if everything's working right is, as soon as I turn on the fuse panel or breaker switch, the charge controller lights should come on. You'll know in a second. I should have green lights. There we go. So my circuit is now connected. Always turn that on before you turn on your solar panel. So now we're going to turn that on and see if we're getting charging. And we are now charging. So our circuits are now good. So we should be all set. Alright, I'm going to show you a stupid mistake I made. So, it's kind of hard to see, but if you look at this cable is my negative to the bus bar. Okay, negative to the charge control. That's working. What I screwed up on is I've got it reversed. This is the positive side of the fuse panel. This is the negative side of the fuse panel. Where I put a positive on the negative side and then positive or negative on the positive side. So when I'm hooking up my cables, I actually have it reversed. So now I have to redo my whole panel a little bit, rerun my wiring a little. Stupid mistake. Okay, after correcting my mistake, and I had to redo the fuse panel. I had to switch it around, but now, as you can see, I now have lights. So my first connection, this is just for this light. I'm going to kind of redo it, I think. Probably will. My first connection goes to my connection in the back. I'll show you a quick video of that. Okay, so that first connection is powering this connection back here. And it also, I need to fix my light. But this controls my refrigerator. That's what this connection is, right here in the very back of the trailer. Okay, now we're into day 2 of the electrical rebuild. So let me show you where I ended up as of day 1. Okay, so at the end of day 1, we have the breakaway battery system bolted down, charge controller bolted down, fuse panel all set up, everything's wired in, 150 amp kill switch for the solar panel, battery obviously, and down below, it's hard to see, right there's a 50 amp circuit breaker. Okay, so what we're going to do is go over a final review of my electrical setup. So, battery, obviously, positive, negative. This is the battery breakaway system. So if you ever lose the cable on the front, the batteries will, or brakes will come on. That's what provides power to those. Solar charger controller, fuse panel. It's hard to see up here, but Bluetooth module right there. The kill switch for the solar panel. This is the NOCO charger for the battery hooked up. Right below is a 150 amp circuit breaker, 50 amp circuit breaker down below, and temperature sensor on the positive, and then everything else plugged in. And that's my entire electrical system for my Runaway. Okay, step 2 of our rebuild is adding in a divider box to the other side of the tongue box. As you can see on my electrical, and this will just be for storage. So I won't bore you with the details of how I put all this together. There's a couple other videos I've done that are very similar woodwork wise, but plywood, birch wood inside gives me a nice little divider in the back side and a bigger one in the front to put in all of my accessories. And that's the front box.